Hey, what's up, guys? Rob here with Aloha Android. How you guys doing today? So for today's video, basically, I just want to take a look back at an older device that, to me, still kicks butt today. Now, it's apparent that with prepaid carriers, we don't always get the best selection of devices. 9 times out of 10, we get a lot of mid-range devices, and maybe very seldom do we get some flagships. But every now and then, there's a diamond in the rough that comes along that just really, even till after 2 years of it being around, still kicks some major booty. And that phone would be the original LG Vault. Released on Boost Mobile, Sprint Prepaid, and Virgin Mobile, this device kicks some serious tail. And to me, when it first came out, it was ahead of its time. Sure, a lot of devices have caught up and went a little beyond. But what you got with this phone, seriously, it was just a shock and awe, basically. Now, everyone's first impression of this device when they first got it and they unboxed it, they were like, oh my God, it's small, it's plastic, feels like a toy. But then when you actually consider the specs that it has, you're like, wow. So I'm going to give you guys my thoughts about the LG Vault and just kind of put the spotlight back on it for old time's sakes. So the LG Vault, also known as the LS740, I have to say that this budget device was well ahead of its time. Now, when you think about the specs, it seems mediocre or just about average. The 1.2 gigahertz Snapdragon 400 processor, 1 gig of RAM, 8 gigs of internal storage, a 1.3 megapixel front-facing camera, and an 8 megapixel rear-facing camera. All these things scream out average, normal. But when you get into some of the other specs like the battery, the fact that it has NFC and an IR blaster, things tend to change. Well, let's start off with the camera because the cameras aren't too bad on this. They basically take some very good shots for being what people consider to be a low-grade camera. Now, there is some, there's a little dark side to the camera itself. I mean, the fact that the front-facing camera in video record mode gets a little grainy. And in low lighting, the front-facing camera is pretty grainy as well. But it's not too bad. You still get some pretty clear photos. And I believe that's the whole best part behind it. Let's take a look at some of the shots that we took. As you guys can see, they're not too bad. And the room is pretty dark. With barely any sunlight coming through the window, it still can take these photos. And that's something that's pretty much a wow factor. All right, we got a video test going on right now. Video test with the LG Vault for the throwback video. It's been a while since I used this camera, but one thing I do notice is that there's a lot of this grain fuzzies happening off to the sides. So I guess in very low lighting, you get this grainy effect that happens. Now, the grainy effect really doesn't happen to the rear camera, but it is still presently there, as I can see. If you look at the greens in the Android speaker, you can kind of see it there. In blacks and whites, it's non-existent. In the background, you don't really see it that much, but in the greens, you can kind of see that that grain effect kind of happen. Still a great camera, though, I have to say. So besides the camera qualities and all that, you get wowed by it. That camera sensors like that, and they can actually still take pretty good pictures, even some better than today's mid-range smartphones. But besides that, the screen resolution not being 720p HD, but when you look at the display, it is gorgeous. It is really good for it being low resolution, and because it has low resolution, the 3,000 milliamp hour battery chugs along just fine, giving you a day and a half, close to 2 days battery life on a single charge. On top of that, having the IR blaster, which is a nice little feature to have when you want to control your TVs, is something that's not found on a lot of mid-range devices, as well as NFC. So that's my thoughts of the LG Vault, the LS740. I hope you guys enjoyed my throwback video to this phone, and in my opinion, does it still kick butt? It kicks a lot of butt. Even better than some of the devices that we've seen released today. Thanks for watching, guys.